47% of brands don't even know if or how they show up in AI shopping. My name is Kimberly Shenk. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Novi. We are seeing one of the most incredible shifts in consumer behavior and shopping that we've seen over the past 30 years. Consumers are shifting to using AI platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, or even Sparky in Walmart and Rufus at Amazon to do their shopping. 73% of consumers have used AI in their shopping journey. And what this means is they're outsourcing a lot of the research that they typically used to do manually to these AI engines. So in this new world of AI shopping, as consumers are looking to these models as their first stop for research, most brands are now asking, well, how do I show up? And this is where answer engine optimization comes into play, which is different than the traditional tactics that we used to use with Google with SEO. So the first thing we like to think about with AEO, or answer engine optimization, is what are you optimizing for? There's brand awareness, and then there's commerce. And so for brand awareness, you might be thinking about investing in things like blogs and media to make sure your brand is showing up in a lot of the different searches and prompts. But for shopping specifically, AI engines do not recommend brands, they recommend products. And so it's really important that you're optimizing your product content. So when we think about the differences between SEO and AEO, SEO is all about getting found. Does your product show up as a consumer is looking? And then they can do all the research from there. But AEO is really about getting recommended. And what this means is that you want to be the trusted source that an AI model looks to and includes in their answer to a consumer. And so a lot of the things that we work with brands is to help them stand out in commerce by optimizing their product information. And so what does that mean? That means optimizing your product content. Do you have relevant information that the LLM will be looking for as they're looking to answer a user's question? But the second is it authoritative? Just because you say it as a brand doesn't mean the LLM will trust it. And so how do you build authority and trust around your content so it's naturally what the LLM selects? But altogether, none of that matters if the LLM can't read your information to start with. And so the table stakes beginning where we usually work with brands is making sure that their data is machine readable. There's a lot of basics around how you structure your information that you already have, that you've already been displaying to the consumer so that the LLM can pick it up, read it, and leverage it in its recommendations. So we found that approximately 30% of the content that is referenced by an LLM does come directly from your site. This is why it's really important that you focus on optimizing your product schema. Is it machine readable? Optimizing your content. Is it relevant? And making sure it's authoritative. Is it referencing third parties that have endorsed your content? But that's only 30% of it. 70% of it is how is your product represented off-site? And this is how you really want to start to influence. How is it represented on different retailer sites, on different marketplaces? How are different authoritative bodies talking about it? That would be certification bodies, standard holders, testing platforms. How are different media outlets talking about it? How are different publications? How are different influencers, review platforms? It's really important for you to get a handle on how it's being talked about, but then also influencing it. The cool thing about this is brands of all shapes and sizes can make tremendous impact on their visibility in AI, and they can do it within weeks. It doesn't matter if you're a large brand or a small brand. If you're focused on your data, you can actually show up, and even the smaller brands can have an advantage over the larger brands if that's where they focus. So one of the number one things that we've been talking with brands about for 2026 is making investments in your product data. And this would be the product data on your website and the product data in all of the retailer channels you sell, and investing in ways to build the authority around that. One thing that we talk about with brands is don't just look for a visibility tool. Visibility is important and you should know how you're showing up, but really make sure you're looking and investing in a tool that's going to help you make the lower level optimizations and continue to iterate and monitor how those optimizations are increasing not only your visibility, but turning into real conversion and revenue results. And so what we like to say is make sure that it's not just content optimization that has to do with blogs and overall website copy, which is really important. But make sure you're investing in the optimizations that are down at the product level, on your product pages, in the schemas, in the product level content that's really granular and might be a playbook that's different product by product.